All right, my friends. So in this video, I want to talk about how to get inspiration for the curriculum of just your product or service in general, right? Because as we have slash will talk about, both your service and your product can have a curriculum, and those curriculums can cross over with each other. If you have one system that you want to sell in the form of a consulting service and also want to productize it and create a product out of it for a lower price for those that don't want to pay to work one-on-one with you, then you can do that. And the thing with one-on-one is, and what most people are doing, is they are walking people through their curriculums in a sense, right? I heard from Joshua Lysek, who is a very high-end ghostwriter, that sometimes like people buy books because he ghostwrites books. People buy books just to find the person's contact information to pay them $20,000 to walk them through what's in the book, right? And this is the same with like thinking deeper in the future here. You can consult companies or do public speaking or whatever it may be, and refining and iterating that curriculum to the point where you know it like the back of your hand is going to be incredibly valuable for not only your business on Twitter and selling to your audience, but also having these gigs that come up where Joshua Lysek also said that sometimes companies will pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for an author. Let's say Stephen Kotler from The Art of Impossible. They hire him to come in and teach performance strategies to the team, the corporate team. Literally the only thing that they do is they have like Zoom sessions or just sessions in general where he goes over step by step what's in the book. So curriculum is very important, but how do you gain inspiration for that? Because the system side of things is up to you, right? So we are here in my project, the 2-Hour Writer, which I'm launching along with this cohort and walking you through what I'm doing. And we've been going over this in some of the other videos. But in the outline here, I have outlined some stuff. And what I'm selling in this thing is what you guys learned in the bachelor's curriculum without all the branding stuff. This product is mainly my content ecosystem because it's very unique to me, and I figured it out myself through experience, right? So the process of writing tweets, writing newsletters, and having those feed into each other through plugs, and then having your offer, I'm not going to be talking about the monetization aspect of things, but having your offer in the actual blog post, so when you plug that blog post, it's like a mini sales page, right? And that is very unique and valuable, and I can market the crap out of that. But along with that system, which is built out in Notion, pretty much just the outline of like a newsletter. Along with that, I'm going to have to teach the basics of writing, persuasion, add some stuff in the state of writing and other things. But how else am I going to get information? I'm also crossing it over, since it's called the 2-Hour Writer, with the lifestyle stuff. So productivity, time blocking work, going on walks, idea generation, all of that fun stuff. So I want to show you what's going into this, because a lot of my, let's say, lifestyle philosophy comes from the book Rest. And now there are, of course, other aspects of this that have come into play from personal experience, but I want some inspiration on how it's structured, right? So right here, part 1, stimulating creativity, part 2, sustaining creativity. And this is really all I'm looking at. I have my highlights, I have other things, but I'm not looking to like take the book and just put it in my course. No, I'm looking for how people structure their content and how they present it in a way that's understandable and will help me write a curriculum better so that people understand it, right? So I could talk about 4 hours or like the 45-minute time blocks that I do. I could throw in some psychology knowledge behind it because this book has all of them and it has all of the references, right? Notes and index and acknowledgements and other things like that. And I could talk about the problem of rest, or like the state of the work, like modern workforce and 80-hour work weeks. I could talk about recovery, exercise, deep play, whatever. And I could use this to help structure how I'm going to present the information. Now, the next book, go to the library, is, and this is all in my Kindle, is Writing to be Understood, right? So now I can go here and I can look through this and think like, okay, how much do they need to know? And then I look at my own tweets and it's like, okay, how much am I giving away and how does that impact the writing? And I can figure that out myself and write my own curriculum on it, right? And the same thing, I haven't read all of this book. Curiosity is your accomplice, right? If I don't know how to explain curiosity very much, but I know how much it comes into play with all of this stuff, then I can read this chapter, I can summarize it, I can run it through the mind. So turn it in or break it down into problems, benefits, all that stuff that we learned in the bachelor's curriculum and make it my own, right? That's how you do it, because you already do these things. You're not selling something that you don't already do or help people with on a daily basis or don't have experience in, right? Or wouldn't be able to write on your own. You know how all of this goes. It's the whole steal like an artist thing, where it's like you don't just take from one person, you pull from multiple perspectives, you experience it yourself, and then you write about it, but you can use the structure of things to give you inspiration for how you're going to structure your own. Now, this is not the only way of doing this. Courses are a good example. I remember when I built out my first web design course and freelancing course, I looked through a freelancing course that I bought previously, mainly to fill in the blanks, right? Because I wrote out the book, it's like it was flowing, it was going good, and then I hit a stump, and it's like, okay, I'll skip and I'll just keep writing what I have to. And this works for newsletters, literally any kind of content, is that once you hit a block, it's like, okay, go to something that you can actually write about. And then you keep writing, and then it's like, okay, what am I missing? And then you can go back to other courses, you can go to YouTube videos, you can go anywhere. It's called research, right? That's how people fill in the blanks of their stuff, but they research it and they make it their own. So that is the main thing I want to get across here, because I have a lot of the stuff for the outline of the actual course, and this just comes to mind, like how I would teach it. But when it comes to fill in the blanks, that's how I'm going to be referring to knowledge. And throughout this entire time, I could be writing about it, right? So if you aren't very confident in articulating a specific thought of yours, then challenge yourself to write a newsletter on, let's say, curiosity, or in my case, curiosity, or who are your readers? Like, how do you find the right reader? Or other things like that. And then you kind of use this as inspiration for a newsletter where you can actually cite and reference these things. You can do that in the course as well if you want to. If you're going to copy something, you have to give the citation, of course, and say where you got it from. But if you're going to make it your own, then I would recommend writing about it and trying to experience it and implement it in your everyday life, and then teach the lessons that you learn through the struggle of actually trying to implement that. Because that's how you learn. You struggle, you fail, you learn. And so that's pretty much it for this video, is just like how I get inspiration for the actual curriculum and how I structure things out. I try to do it myself, and then I find things to fill in the blanks, and then I keep going, and it's, again, constant process of iteration. And this is why we have things written down in Notion, because if an idea comes to your head, or you're listening to an audiobook or something of that case, then you open up Notion on your phone, you go to the project and you plug it in. Boom, done. Easy. So that is it for this video.